welcome. Welcome on behalf of my co-chair, Terry Duguid, who is the co-chair of the National Campaign for the Liberal Party of Canada, and we're seatmates. We actually have a little alleyway in between. He's got my deaf ear, the best place to be, by the way. And we work closely together to make this happen. I'm so happy. And on behalf of the Liberal Party of Canada, on behalf of Terry, myself, and a lot of volunteers who are here today, we thank you and we welcome you to tonight's event. There is a lot happening, and we're standing in the traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Assabanabe, the peoples of, there's a number of nations that make part of where we are here in Toronto. And it's important to recognize that. It's important to recognize the Ojibwe and the Watani people, because to this day, they're a big fabric of what Canada is all about. And it's that respect for First Nations that make this Prime Minister and this party very sensitive to how we proceed going forward and how we represent the rest of the world in terms of how we respect each other. And this country was built by immigrants, and we have to be very sensitive about which and where we're building it upon. So thank you to the Indigenous people of this country. And of course, there's a lot of other people here today. A lot of friends, a lot of people who have been with me through thick and thin, highs and lows of politics, as you can appreciate. But you've inspired me. You've always given me that support and that encouragement to do what's right, to enable us to give back. And I see that with my family as well. They sometimes wonder, yo, Dad, you're going back again, really? You're a glutton for punishment. But it is not punishment. It is very much about the excitement of being in that shark tank. Yeah, they'll be nibbling at you, but in the end, the Prime Minister and the Liberal Party of Canada, they're bigger sharks because they have a much better issue at hand, and that's to protect the interests of Canadians. And I'm very respectful and very appreciative of being able to have the opportunity to come back into politics. You know, there's a privilege in this job, and I appreciate that. And not too few people have that opportunity. It's what you make of it. And I'm looking around a number of people, a number of faces and friends who reference and remind me every day of how thankful they are that people like us are there to represent them. And we'll do our utmost to do our best to represent you in return and to make you proud of being Canadians and hearing and making this country the envy of the world. So many of us came here. Our parents came here to look for freedom, to look for opportunities. And when I hear about freedom out there in around Canada and concerns that somehow Canada's broken, let me tell you, my friends, the only thing that's broken is people who don't respect others. The only thing that's broken is when people don't go across this country reflecting on what makes us so great. It's one thing you can blame others, right? You can blame the governor of the Bank of Canada. You can certainly blame business leaders. You can blame healthcare workers. You can blame all kinds of people because that's all they do is a blame game. It's funny. The very individual that's at the head of the blaming of everyone's concerns is the very individual that complains about gatekeepers and big business, and big government. And yet, that individual is the very product of gatekeepers. He's done nothing else but feed off. He's the epitome of feeding off the public trough. And I can tell you, having been with many of you who are business leaders, who are people that make payroll and understand the concerns of businesses and ensuring that people have a good life and ensuring that we protect others and most in need, that is what this Prime Minister has been all about in the Liberal Party of Canada. It's not about providing blame, it's about giving solutions, it's about making real achievements. And the Liberal Party of Canada and our government has provided all-day childcare. They provided enablement for young families to be able to get back to work. They provided increases to the OAS and GIS. They've enabled us to enable those seniors collect more quickly so they can improve their retirement when necessary. We've been the top destination for foreign direct investment by attracting new investments here in Canada. We're number one around the world for innovative technology like the green economy, like manufacturing and auto. Those things matter. I see some bankers in the room. They care about that. They care to ensure that their depositors and their businesses grow and that their clients, their small business clients, can do well. And I have only 4 priorities in life, and it's what I share with the team. And that's about growing the economy to support those programs that matter, like green economy, and even the initiatives about reinvestment is critical for us to attract more investment. And that supports sustainable social programs. That is important to all of us. As well as national unity, cross-border, between provinces is also important. And when we look at what's happening in opposition members who talk about all the concerns across Canada, they're not offering a unity solution. We need to fight for Canada in its entirety, for all regions. And of course, we got to be leaders in the world stage. And I see how tireless some of my colleagues are across Canada and across the foreign diplomats to ensure that Canada is well represented in the world stage. So friends, I see that many of these initiatives are led by the leader of the Liberal Party of Canada. I know there's challenges, for sure. However, it's not about emphasizing those concerns. It's about optimizing and overcoming those concerns. It's about challenging and overcoming those challenges. Many of you know I'm not a guy that leans to the left or leans to the right. I just plow forward, straight ahead, for the benefit of others and to ensure we get ahead, to ensure Canadians are well regarded, to ensure that Canadians are well supported. And I just want to say that many of my colleagues, Terry who's here, who recognizes the importance of supporting others and being more caring to others. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I acknowledge our main event, I also want to thank and acknowledge a lot of volunteers who make this happen. You know, we have a lot of individuals, and Johnny's, who's a big part of this. Mike Rosati is around here too. Linda was a big contributor in enabling this event to happen. A lot of volunteers from my team are here too. I'm not even sure if they're in the room. They're still probably pushing people away from the front doors. I see a couple of guitar players, by the way, who are Portuguese descent, and they're fado guitar players, and they're one of the best around, so thank you to them.